Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Matt's coming. No. When do we start?
Guess who's back? Back again.
Sound guy, he's not back. He's not here.
Have we done this gag before? I feel like we probably have.
Yeah, at least once a month.
I really like to reference old Eminem songs. That's my
Only
deal.
really particularly this one. You don't bring out like Cleaning Out My Closet or Stan or...
Those are both really dark songs.
They are.
I go with the lighters one.
Real simple.
Hey, my name is... Huh?
Yeah,
It's Zach.
Oh, yeah.
My name's Zach.
I know who you are. I'm
Okay,
Jared.
cool.
This is the podcast.
That was nowhere near as dark as Stan or Cleaning Out My Closet or Kim.
Or
you want to do Kim? You want to do Kim?
No, that was pretty bad. It was...
It's a dark, dark song.
Yeah. What about some of his stuff with Dre? Like, forgot about Dre. Everybody forgot about the podcast. Y'all know me. Still same old G, but I've been low-key. Hated on by most of these. Anyway, back to the show.
I was going to do the whole chorus, then I chose not to.
Of
Thought
which-
about it for a
of which
second.
song?
Forgot about Dre.
Oh, nowadays everybody want to talk,
Like that, something to say.
but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a
A bunch
bumper.
of gibberish. Motherfuckers actually forgot about Dre.
Yes, it wasn't as clean.
That'd be it.
Yeah, that'd be it. Wow. Okay. Well,
This is America.
there's a song by Eminem about America.
No, that was the Childish Gambino song that just came out.
You mean Lando Calrissian's
Yeah,
new,
it's
new
good.
hit single?
He dropped it on SNL,
He did.
and it's good. I liked it
Did
a
you
lot.
see his Lando Calrissian skit?
I usually watch SNL on Sundays. I don't watch it live. I watch it Sunday mornings, and then I had to get an ad blocker because SNL was like, hey, let's break up Weekend Update into 17 segments. I'm like, cool, ad blocker now.
Or you can just DVR it on your YouTube TV.
I could do that as well. But
That's a lot easier. That's what I do. Weekend Update was good. And the opening monologue was good. Well, the opening skit.
Oh, yeah, that thing. You talking about the cold open? Where they
Yeah,
have
the
like
cold open.
everyone, where you had like Martin Short, Ben
Yeah.
Stiller, Alec Baldwin, and the rest. Oh, Scarlett Johansson, Jimmy Fallon, who's a cokehead.
Stormy Daniels.
Let's just never forget that Jimmy Fallon is a massive cokehead who keeps on doing way too much coke.
What?
Yeah, no, he is the worst cokehead.
I think he hasn't killed anyone.
No, but he keeps getting injured with his cocaine addiction. Let's just never forget that.
Like the time he almost ripped his ring finger off.
That would be one of the times of Jimmy Fallon's coke addiction.
Anyway, this isn't the Jimmy Fallon Coke Addiction show. This is the
He also, you know what? I was watching him way back in the day, like the early 2000s. How about you do a skit without breaking, man?
Could you have kept the straight face in the lovers in the hot tub scene at the Welshly Arms?
Oh my god, no, I couldn't. That's a lava.
We heard the pounding of native drums.
Like salted meats or whatever.
Yes. In the scalding waters of the hot tub.
Why are we doing this? Let's talk about stuff.
Wait, is it time for the parking update?
I mean, there's not a big update. It's going to be done in the end of June, supposedly. One of them was talking to me yesterday. He was baked out of his mind.
Was his name Jimmy Fallon?
I was just asking. He was like, hey, so, we're going to be wrapping this up relatively soon. He's like, yeah, it's supposed to be done, but I wouldn't bet on it. I'm like,
Did he really go Wilford Brimley on you?
a little bit. It was like super duper.
They're doing quite a bit of heavy duty work right outside the store right now. There's like a blue hose coming out of the crosswalk that's no longer accessible in front of the store.
Yeah, just for today. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Yeah, true. It's like a roulette wheel.
A little bit. Shoot yourself in the head.
Does the
maybe,
building shake at all when they're working?
100%. I actually had a picture frame come off the wall this week. What's like the frame came off and the glass came off, but the backing stayed up.
Nice.
It was,
Terrifying?
a little bit. I was setting up new clink bags, so if you want to help the store, grab a clink bag.
You should probably hand out clink bags to the construction workers. Speaking of picture frames, you got some new art for the store.
I did. That was an exciting one, and hopefully something bigger will come out of that. We've talked about this issue on the show before.
Yeah.
This is kind of like close to a grail piece for me, but what's also crazy is how little it cost me. I got a page from my very first comic that I got back in 97.
Wow.
And we've done that issue on the show before, but it was kind of cool. And also, it literally cost me it was $50.
Wow. Double wow.
Yeah, it was. The page itself isn't like super engaging. It's just like a Talking Heads page, but I have been looking for years.
Could one argue that this page ultimately has cost you more than $50 in your entire lifetime?
Yeah, probably. But I've never had one pop up before, and this is the first time that page has popped up from that book. I talked to the inker. He's like, I junked all that stuff years ago. So as far as I know, like literally half this book is gone. And a page popped up on eBay for $50, and I just hit buy it now.
Oh, kazing.
Yeah, $50. That's nothing.
That is nothing.
I mean,
To somebody who has $50 just laying around.
Yeah. But no, that's crazy. I got a page from my very first book. I can't wait to get it in. I'm going to, it's going to go up at the shop. It's not going, that just feels like full circle.
Kind of like hanging.
It started here and now it's going.
Is it kind of like hanging your first dollar above your, like if you owned a bar or a
No,
restaurant?
I kept that dollar. I didn't put that up. That was brought up to me like, oh, should you hang this? I'm like, no.
I may need to spend it someday.
Yeah, like, that's money. I'm not going to
So you really had
hang money on the wall.
You had $51 lying around.
Yeah, that's cool though. Like, honestly, I've been looking for years, and when it was on eBay, it was kind of like this moment of like, is this real? It's like I said, it's a nothing page. It's just a Talking Heads page.
Well, it's like you say, it has value to you, so it's not a nothing page to you.
Yeah. What also like kind of popped in my head when I was buying it was like, you know what? I think I actually do have a dollar value on this because it was very cheap. But if it was like $150 for just like a couple guys talking, I would have been like, yeah, don't know. Like there is actually a limit on what I'm willing to spend.
It's got J. Jonah Jameson on it though.
It does have Jameson. It's like pre-smoking like elimination, so you have Jameson smoking a cigar the way he used to.
Oh, okay, good for him.
What's also like, and we've talked about the issue, but we have like it's a floating cigar. Like he is smoking a cigar, but it is 100% separate from his mouth. It's also Peter Parker's in there, who is a red head with a mullet, which is hilarious.
It's true.
So there's all kinds of goodies in there, but yeah, I mean, $50. Yeah, that is $50 well spent for me.
Agreed. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
And how was Free Comic Book Day?
Oh yeah, that happened. That was good, and no one was a jerk, and I liked that the most.
Well, there. So a rousing success.
Yeah, it was. It really was. It was a great day. No one seemed upset by the limitations. I have no complaints about the day, which is great. I mean, I was exhausted. It was a tiring day.
Well, I came in like at 2:00, and you were like, "I'm ready to go home now." I'm like, "But you're open till 6."
Yeah, you came in a lull. You came in one of the few lulls.
There was nobody in the shop.
Oh, that was.
I like walked in the door. I could have robbed you because there was nobody in there, and then I hear a flush, and you come out of the can. I'm like, "Oh, hey, there he is."
Yeah, there were a couple of lulls in the day, which believe me were necessary because everything came into waves. It was a great day though. Everyone was friendly. No one, gave me a hard time about anything. Everyone seemed happy. I don't have any complaints. It was a good day.
Today was a good day.
Yeah, it was a nice day. I was glad it happened. I don't really have anything beyond that. It was just a good Free Comic Book Day.
Well, excellent. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, it's, nice when events happen and people come out for them, especially during all the construction. So it was, there's a little bit of concern going into it, but at the end of it, everything was good.
Primo.
Yeah. What are you, Italian now?
Arrivederci.
All right, let's go from there into comic and pop culture news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
So glad you snapped your way into that.
I Thanos that.
Some people might not have seen the movie. Spoiler alert. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because it's already reached $1 billion.
Yeah, it has.
In less than 14 days.
Fine, I'll do that. Avengers is the quickest movie to reach $1 billion in history.
Yeah, shocking.
That's the news there. They made a ton of cash.
And they're still making it.
Oh, they're going to make a bunch more. Let's see how this actually
It hasn't
lands.
even been out for 2 weeks yet.
I'm very curious to see where its final box office numbers land.
Did you see the picture, the tweet that Lucasfilms?
Yeah, the one where they have Rey handing the lightsaber over to Iron Man. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
But there's a cool history of that happening.
Boy, that Disney Corporation sure is making money. Good for them, those underdogs.
Yes, handing it off from one division to another.
Yeah. But in a segment we don't have, let's talk Stallone.
You know what we didn't do last week?
BMB?
We didn't BMB last week.
We didn't? Well, I have BMB now.
Thank God. Well, let's talk Stallone and then BMB.
We'll get there. We got multiple Stallone stories this week. I highly recommend following Stallone's Instagram because he doesn't, unless you don't want to know Rocky spoilers, I guess, because he's bad at it. He's very upfront about things. It was announced this week, Rambo 5 is happening.
He just...
Why did you make that face?
He just wanted some...
Oh, Rambo.
More Rambo. He just wanted some food. He just wanted a bite to eat all those years ago. And now look what's happened.
He's going to be going up, supposedly, and Rambo 5 has been in the works off and on for basically since Rambo 4 happened, but supposedly it's moving forward now, where he's going to be going up against the Mexican cartel. I love Rambo 4. It's a great movie. It's my second favorite Rambo.
After First Blood?
100%. 2 and 3, look, they're not great.
He was supposed to die at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, there is a cut of that exists.
But it didn't test well.
I personally love Rambo 4. It is hardcore, like balls to the wall kind of action.
But you don't like Expendables.
I like the first one. I don't like the follow-ups.
They have cool names. I do love the names in the Expendables.
Barney, yeah. He's a dinosaur who throws knives around.
No, but yeah, Lee Christmas. By the way, some of the memes, the Thanos memes that are out there, like with Barney, it's great stuff. You know, like Conrad Stonebanks, Toll Road. Who else was Yin Yang?
Christmas something.
Lee Christmas.
Rambo 4 is a great movie. If you love action movies, Rambo 4 is amazing. It was just called Rambo. But the only thing that's kind of giving me a little bit of leeway going into this is how good the ending of that movie was, of just having him, come back to America and walk back to the farm. And it felt cyclical. It felt complete.
But now here he goes.
Yeah, he's going up against the Mexican cartel.
They did something to wrong his family.
Yeah, we'll see. Also, let's just throw this out there because I did it and it kind of ruined it for me. Don't buy the director's cut of Rambo 4. Do you know what it was?
No.
Because this is honestly the movie that put me off to director's cuts. And when I say director's cuts, I'm going to throw that in big air quotes. What it really was, yes, thank you for doing those air quotes that no one could see. What the Rambo 4 director's cut was really just alternate takes. And do you know what that alternate takes were?
Different camera angle?
The ones that they didn't use in the movie because they were worse. So it wasn't really like, this is a different vision. It was just, here are crappier takes that we didn't use. And it's terrible.
That sounds horrific.
Yeah, don't watch the director's cut of Rambo 4 because it's terrible.
Duly noted.
It's really bad. It's a really good movie if you just watch the regular old version.
Not the director's cut.
Do not watch that. I did it and I deeply regret it. I did it once. Once was more than enough and that was a waste of like $10.
The $10 extra.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
So you had at one point $61 laying around.
I mean, I'm sure you've seen that movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking brutal.
The violence is top notch.
Yeah, that's about as intense as you get for and I'm not a big blood guy, but boy, that movie works for me.
Yeah, it's not like gratuitous gore. It's just
it is 100%. It is, but that one it works in the story.
Yeah, it does.
Especially
some people die some terrible ways in that.
What I think is so funny, I know it's weird that I keep on bringing up not shirtless man scenes, but that doesn't have a shirtless man scene when basically Rambo 2 and 3 were built on steroid Stallone.
Yeah, he's not as shredded. The sag lines are starting to kick in a little bit.
Considering his age and how he looks, I think he's doing fine.
Yeah, but I understand why he's wearing a ripped shirt and a cutoff, a tight t-shirt as opposed to
wearing
oiled up tan man.
A loose button up and a t-shirt.
A very tight t-shirt.
Okay, so anyway, speaking of more Stallone news, in Philadelphia,
the city of brotherly love,
Cuff and Link are back. The originals, his turtles from Rocky 1,
really
are still alive, still together, and are going to be in Creed 2.
Turtles do live a long time.
Yeah, they do.
If they're taken well care of, yeah.
His original turtles are in Creed 2.
That's incredible.
Isn't that? I just wanted to mention that.
Wow, they've got to be 40 years old?
Yeah, it was 44.
Wow.
For the two of them, yeah. They're still alive, still together, and they're going to be in Creed 2. His original turtles, Cuff and Link.
That's incredible.
Isn't that awesome?
I'm floored.
That's all I have to say on that. I just think it's cool. Ant-Man and the Wasp had a trailer. It came out 8 hours after we finished recording, so this is out of date, but, let's mention it. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good.
I think it looks interesting. I'm all about that movie. Doesn't take place before or after Infinity War. I say before.
Oh, definitely before. Maybe the end of it is going to be a lead into Infinity. The end of it, things start happening.
That would make it so hard to place in a rewatch, though. I hope they don't do that.
No, because you could definitely. This is the last one that will come out before Captain Marvel.
Yeah, so we're gonna get this Captain Marvel, then the next Avengers.
There's no other Marvel films this year, is there? Are there?
Well, there's this one that's in July.
In July, but after that.
Yeah, I forget when Captain Marvel is, but yeah, that must be early next year.
Because this is what I could see your post-credit scene being the movie's kind of ending, and maybe the movie ends and people are fading away. And your post-credit scene, you pick up with the spoilers. You pick up with the beeper, and it fades to wherever Captain Marvel is.
We'll see. This is a kind of it's almost to the point where the Marvel marketing machine, I'm It doesn't even matter. Just show me a title. I'm going to go see the movie anyway.
Well, it's 100% after Civil War.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they even mentioned that. Like, if Cap was asked you to fight, what would you have done? Or yada yada, something along those lines. I think it looks good. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Which I think, especially after Infinity War, is going to be a nice reprieve. Other Marvel trailers. Luke Cage had a full Season 2 trailer.
Looks badass.
I am pretty okay with Luke Cage Season 1. Didn't blow me away. I enjoyed it, but that's kind of where I landed. I like the look of the Season 2 trailer. I think it looks a little more hardcore.
Definitely he's going on his own kind of adventure.
I like when he's getting shot with bolts, he's like, really? And they're just like,
gotta try.
We have to try. Yeah, I love that's such a good beat. Then,
I like it. There's guys that he's surrounding. Really? You gotta try, right, man?
I think it looks good.
He kicks maximum ass in that as well.
I also like that comparatively, as we were mentioning, with non-shirtless movies, the show has no issue showing Mike Coulter without a shirt. They're like, there he is, no shirt.
Well, he's well put together.
He is a built man.
Yes.
And I like that. I like that they have no issue with
How
him.
would Tommy Heinsohn feel about him?
All of Australia.
Yeah.
Or whatever he said.
So I think it was something along those lines.
Well, he's not Australian.
No, he's not.
I think it looks good. I think it looks better than the first season, or hoping it is. If we see return of villains, we get the Biggie poster that was in it before. I think it looks good. Deadpool 3 might not be a thing, according to Ryan Reynolds. Aside from the Disney acquisition deal, he was saying that, there's only so far you can take the character as a solo act before you have to start incorporating other people. So he was saying that maybe Deadpool 3 would just be an X-Force movie. So there might not be a solo Deadpool 3. Also, I doubt there will be in general because Disney's going to buy them.
And why is it not possible that Deadpool 2 is like the beginning of an X-Force movie? It's like the X-Force origin movie.
It seems to be that anyway. But he also said he wants to do a movie with Hugh Jackman, although he also stated that is highly unlikely.
Huge Jackman.
Huge jacked man.
Yes, exactly.
Everyone be Hugh Jackman emotionally and physically. Seems to be a good guy with a healthy relationship.
Yep.
That's all I have to say about Hugh Jackman. Seems nice.
Yeah, seems like a quality guy.
DC, their streaming service has been announced this week. Going to be called DC Universe. They announced 4 original shows for programming, but the biggie that we didn't know before now, because we already knew about like the Titans thing and there's some animated stuff over there, but there's going to be a live-action Swamp Thing show, which made me go for a second, should I buy this? And then I thought, nah, that's fine.
Live action Swamp Thing. Every time someone says Swamp Thing, I think of the Toxic Avenger.
Kinda, yeah. If you want to go, we haven't done the movie, but that was a Wes Craven flick, the original one.
The Toxic Avenger?
No, that's Lloyd Kaufman. The very first Swamp Thing movie, that was Wes Craven. Because there are 2 of them. 2 of them came out in the 80s. They're bad.
Not good?
No.
Not worth my time?
Maybe for the show, but in general, no.
Oh, so if it wasn't for the show, I wouldn't be subjected to such terrible filth.
And I think there was an animated series, but I think it only went 6 episodes because it was a bunch of crap. Swamp Thing is one of my favorite DC characters, hands down. We're spoiler for October, we are going to do a Swamp Thing episode in October, which I'm greatly looking forward to.
Your favorite month, Halloween month?
Yeah, I figured out what we're doing that month. Boy, we got some good stuff. We got some good stuff for Halloween this year.
Let's not rush. Spring just started this week, okay?
I'm just saying.
Spring just showed up here in the month of May,
I was happy to plan the October shows.
I'm sure you were.
But Swamp Thing is one of my favorite characters, and doing a live-action Swamp Thing, I'm like, damn it, you almost got me to pay money, because DC has done insane, especially with Alan Moore, best known for stuff that we've done between Watchmen or Killing Joke. Swamp Thing is kind of Alan Moore's other big DC thing, which he's gone totally insane with, of eating tumors that he grows for tantric sex to going to hell to going to space.
Sounds like Alan Moore.
Yeah, Swamp Thing has gone all over the place. It's a great character. It's a great title. In the live action one, I was like, damn it, do I need to pay for this? And then I said, meh, it's fine. Because that's the world I live in.
Well, if you had that extra money laying around that you didn't throw in some art and the director's cut of Rambo...
I know that, boy. Yeah, that director's got a Rambo money. That was a waste.
It's $10. That's a Subway. That's a meal at Subway you'd like to have back.
I think I got that at a Walmart in Jersey.
Well, it's even worse.
Where was Walmart? That had to be in Trenton. I think the Walmart was in Trenton.
The Trenton, New Jersey Walmart sounds like it's a dangerous establishment.
Comic book news. Hey, did you see Rogue One?
I do remember a film called Rogue One.
Were you curious why Darth Vader had a castle on Mustafar? No, not that Queen song. Mustafa, Mustafa.
No, I mean, I know why he has it there, so we can go back there and relive the pain and suffering so we can stay in tune with the dark side of the Force.
Well, then I'll be curious to see if that's actually why he has it, because the Darth Vader comic is going to be addressing that.
Oh, like his address? Like,
Yes.
221 Vader Way, Mustafar?
Mustafa, Mustafa. Look, if you haven't heard that song, this joke means nothing, I guess. Did you guys hear the album Jazz?
Do you think Vader would accept something postage due? I find your lack of stamps disturbing.
The current Darth Vader series is going to be revealing why he has a castle there, and probably just because he's a sad bastard.
Yeah, I mean, that's where he killed Padme, and that's where he...
I had my legs chopped off.
And arm.
I didn't have the high ground.
No, I underestimated my new powers.
I was told not to do it, but I did it anyway.
I killed younglings.
But yeah, so that's going to be coming up with the Darth Vader series written by Charles Soule. I like that book a lot, so I recommend it. Sad news, or news that doesn't really matter because ultimately it will be out longer than it's not out. That's kind of how I look at books.
Okay.
As far as releases go, it's like if things happen, I'm like, it'll get there eventually, and if it's better for it, then I don't care. But Doomsday Clock, issue 5 and 6 have both been delayed by a month. This is the Watchmen sequel being written by Jeff Johns. They got delayed. Ultimately, I don't think it's a big deal. They'll get out.
Yeah.
And if they're the better for being delayed, then don't worry about it.
Exactly. I mean, get it done right. Don't rush it, just rush it.
Yeah, it's kind of my thoughts in general. And then, in a series that is currently being counted down to, mostly because there's a countdown to it, literally, a series called Infinity Wars, which is probably because Infinity War just came out as a movie. There is a villain called Requiem, who we see stabbing through the Infinity Gauntlet and potentially killing a bunch of Marvel heroes. A new villain.
Well, that's good. We need new villains.
That's all I really have to say on that. There's a new villain, stabs a gauntlet, probably kills a bunch of people.
Okay.
Requiem by Infinity Wars, because I think it's going to be relatively big for Marvel.
Gonna be hot, hot, hot.
And then
I
I was going to do a thing, but we've done that gag too many times. I got to find a new way to segue into Bendis news.
Oh, it's easy. It's time to talk about Brian Michael Bendis.
Okay, great. So we just say it. No fun way into it. Just we say it. Great theme.
What is Bendis up to now?
We're gabbing about Bendis. It's this week's news about Brian Michael Bendis.
Bendis.
Okay, well, how about this? Do you like DMB?
No.
Well, we like to BMB. Or are you saying no to, like, you don't like DMB?
I think we got to find a new way in.
Do you know what I'm talking about when I say DMB?
Yeah.
Do you not like Dave Matthews Band?
I do.
Okay, because I said, do you like DMB? And you're like, no. I'm glad you didn't do
That was more just of I need to find a way in that isn't a musical reference.
Yeah, because Are You Down with BMB is getting kind of old.
Yeah, that one's kind of played out.
Let's see, what else could we do? I don't drive a BMW, but I like some BMB news. No?
That was the quiet part.
Oh, okay. So that was really not a seal of approval then.
Bendis, this week. Oh, he has some news. What news, you may ask? You didn't. I gave you an opening.
What news, Zach? I thought that was a rhetorical question.
Look, I gotta be honest, I really folded this one into another bit of news, but hey, it works. Because we have a theme for it. He wrote, or was one of the writers, on the best-selling title in April 2017. Action Comics 1000 was the best-selling title of the month.
Oh, good. Congratulations. You mean 2018?
I wrote 2017 on my piece of paper.
Are you still writing 2017 on your checks? Do you still use checks?
I have to every week.
Oh, that's right, because you own a business.
Yeah, Diamond still uses checks. Like, whenever UPS shows up, I have to pay them in check.
Wow. COD.
Yeah, 100% every single week.
Wow.
And they've started, according to their website, experimenting with some credit card payments. But yeah, in general, I have to pay a check every single week.
Are you still writing 2017 on your checks to Diamond?
Yeah, no, I did write down 2017, didn't mean to.
Okay.
So, top 10 selling books. Action Comics 1000 is number 1. I guess we're going to go from 1 to 10, because BMB was number 1.
Number one. Of course he is.
Amazing Spider-Man number 798 was number 2. Amazing Spider-Man 799 was number 3. Hunt for Wolverine number 1, which is a one-shot, was number 4. Batman 44 was number 5. Venomized number 1 was number 6. Batman 45 was number 7. Domino number 1 was number 8. Captain America 700 was number 9. And coming in at 10th was Walking Dead number 178. And just for a general number, sales were down 10% from April of 2017 last year. So still, we're not going to that positive swing I'd like to see. Yeah.
Well,
Still down 10%.
better than being down 11%.
I like your positive attitude,
I'm trying
but
to-
also
I'm
hate
trying
it
to-
simultaneously.
Trying to give you something to hold on to.
Like it.
No. No, I mean, I get where you're going with that. Yeah, you're holding on to something, but it's a...
Gotta hold on to what we got.
That's like the man who asked his wife to tell him something that would make him laugh and smile at the same time.
Was it a...
No. You've never heard this joke before?
I guess not.
Oh, this man challenged his wife one night. I bet you can't tell me something that would make me laugh and cry at the same time. And she goes, you have the biggest penis of all your friends.
I like that gag. That's a good joke.
Thank you. It's not mine.
I know it's not yours. I didn't credit you with that much creativity.
But I made you laugh. That would make one laugh and cry at the same time.
Yeah, it would. But, yeah, so sales are down 10%. Buy 10% more comics if you could. I'm glad I made you laugh.
Just help. Just buy 10% more comics. So if you buy one comic, are you supposed to buy like a tenth of another comic?
Yeah, preferably. Just, Patreon me. From there, I guess it's time for Jared's sports reports.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare-chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
Oh, lots happening in the sports world. The Kentucky Derby happened over the weekend. Totally forgot who won it. Hold on.
You have two segments. You couldn't remember one of them.
I just couldn't remember the name of the... Justify won the Kentucky Derby, the Run for the Roses. It was a wet, sloppy track at Churchill Downs.
What a gross phrase. A wet, sloppy track.
Yes. You know what I love is the names of some of the horses. I would like to share for you now some of the horses that ran in the Kentucky Derby. There was Good Magic, Instilled Regard, My Boy Jack was another one. Lone Sailor, let's see, Bolt Dororo, Promises Fulfilled, lost by a lot, actually. Mendelssohn.
Ben Mendelsohn, Australian actor himself.
Free Drop Billy, Magnum Moon, Combatant. There you go. Those are some of the names of the Kentucky Derby runners. It was the 144th running of the Kentucky Derby.
Fantastic. I heard A-Rod news this week.
Which A-Rod news did you hear?
His J-Lo news. Because we can't say people's full names in this segment.
What, Jennifer Lopez?
That would be the J-Lo.
Yeah.
That she said that on their first date, he excused himself to go to the bathroom, and because he's such little whiny man, had to text her his feelings from afar while taking a piss, saying that she looked sexy AF.
Well, they went to the Met Gala last night together, or over the weekend. Was it last night? It was, no.
Don't do that.
What?
That's not good. That you can't actually man up and say what you're thinking? That you have to text her while you're taking a piss?
Remember, he also took steroids, and he started a fight with a man in a catcher's mask, and he slapped the baseball out of a guy's hand and, said, "This is how I run." Like
no one can see that.
No, but everyone who's a Boston Red Sox fan knows what I'm talking about. All right, Alex Rodriguez.
Look, I'm not questioning his ability as an athlete. I'm questioning his ability at dating, which is bad.
How do you think Ben Affleck feels that he's now dating Jennifer Lopez?
I think that was over 10 years ago, and if you were still hung up on someone you were dating 10 years ago, that's bad on you.
Yeah, true, good point. But he was also with Jennifer Garner.
You had a long pause there. Just, you had to think about it. You're like, yeah.
Now time for a new segment.
Who was I dating 10 years ago?
Time for a new segment on the show. Jared reminisces past dating failure.
That's a whole other podcast.
We could get a good 200 episode run out of that thing. Anyway.
Not a good run, a sad run, definitely.
It'd be entertaining. There's some good stories in there.
Look, he's wearing Birkenstocks, khaki shorts, and a checkered blue shirt the entire time. I promise you.
I'd like to point out that I proved you wrong at a recent semi-formal event, which I wore a brown shirt, a green sport coat, and some brown corduroys.
Because I told you what you were going to wear. You said, "Shit, that's what I brought."
So I rummaged through some bags that were being donated as clothing to a local thrift shop, and I picked some stuff out from people that gave their clothes up.
And I said no to the less needy. I'm the needy now.
Yeah, I'm needy. I'm needing to shut Zach up.
All right, so that was my news. The Alex Rodriguez being bad at dating.
Yes, anyway, other news, the Boston Bruins are out of the playoff hunt after being beaten by the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-1 in their series. The Boston Celtics going strong, and all indications are that they will advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, where the Cleveland Cavaliers await them after they swept the Toronto Maple Leafs. Zach has some strong opinions about what's going to happen.
I do. In NBA history...
Nobody cares. We're moving on.
Easy does it. In NBA history, no team that in the playoffs that has been up 3-0 has ever lost. So...
In fact, the Celtics have never lost a series in which they started 2-0 or 3-0.
No. They have not lost in the past 36 series where they were up 2-0. But yeah, my theory is that they are going to be able to beat the Cavaliers. I'm not sure in how many games. I think that Brad Stevens will be able to give good enough defense between Al Horford, Aaron Baines, and Ogilvy. And then they're going to go to the finals with Houston and be destroyed terribly.
But that would still be a successful season for the Celtics, considering everything that happened to them this year. You lost Gordon Hayward on the first night of the season, Kyrie Irving.
I'm so sick of hearing about that because people keep on pointing to that, but they keep on winning.
No, but I think it's
people keep on going like, oh, no, they're down like these two players, but they have all these other guys who have stepped up. So I think at this point, it's an invalid argument. Yes, they do not have the star power of Kyrie, but they are still a solid team.
They're going to be the best team in the NBA next year.
Yeah, 100%.
Hands down the best team in the NBA.
You know what I'm a little afraid, though?
What?
That they're going to lose Rozier.
Rozier's going to get paid, and he's not going to want to play behind Kyrie Irving.
Yeah,
so now you kind of have to weigh.
They're going to lose Rozier because he's not going to want to be the fill-in for Kyrie. He's going to want to be a starter.
Or do you move Kyrie, who's got injury-prone problems, for Rozier, who's now a known quantity? See, that's a tough decision that Danny Ainge gets paid the big bucks to make. But we also have to talk about Boston Red Sox taking on the New York Yankees for a series. And David Price had numbness in his hand again, so he's getting that examined. He also has numbness in his brain, but that's totally something else.
I don't watch baseball. I don't know what you're talking about, but I appreciate your wordplay.
Thank you very much. I'm trying to think of other exciting and interesting sports news off the top of my head. Kevin Harvick won the Autism Speaks 400. He's won 4 races this year so far out of like 11 or 12, so he's really started the season off in NASCAR on a very hot streak. Tiger Woods is supposed to be playing golf again soon, and yeah, that's about it I can think of off the top of my head.
From there, I guess we are done with reporting sports, and we're moving on to a segment that doesn't have your name in it, thankfully.
What?
We're just we're just doing a review of a thing.
Fuck that, I'm not going to be involved.
Okay, cool. The theme is playing now.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
This week, coming off of Avengers Infinity War, the newest and biggest live-action superhero extravaganza to ever happen, we're going back to the beginning, picking up our bootstraps, going back to 1941 with the adventures of Captain Marvel. Talking about that cereal, baby.
Yum, yum, yum.
Not that cereal.
Chocolate chip.
This is the very first live-action superhero adaptation. This has been predated with animation as far as adaptations go, but if we're talking live action, The Adventures of Captain Marvel is the very first. The character was adapted from Fawcett Comics, and then later on Fawcett Comics would be sued into oblivion by DC, saying that they ripped off Superman. And speaking of ripping off Superman, this was originally intended to be a Superman series done by Republic Pictures. They cast bodybuilder Tom Taylor in the role of Shazam, who, if you look up his IMDb, was in an insane number of, hyper famous movies. His credit, he played a bit part in a lot of stuff, but oh my god, what he played a bit part in.
It was really crazy.
Insane the amount of, well-known movies that still exist to this day that he was in small roles. But he is our leader as Shazam. As I said, he was a bodybuilder. He wasn't great on set, apparently, in 1941. He knocked over a bunch of props just because of his stature, and wasn't great at fight choreography because he punched a bunch of people in the face.
Do you know there was also a Shazam TV show in the 1970s?
There was, yes.
Not very good, was it?
Oh, yeah, we're not doing that one.
No.
This is much better. Don't go back to that. You don't seem as entertained as I was that he just punched people in the face because he was bad at fight choreography.
Well, I was thinking about the backflip kick he did.
I don't think that was him. I think that was a stunt man. And in later years, in superhero roles, Tom Tyler also played the Phantom.
Really?
Yeah, that's really all I have to say on him. There were comic strips that were adapted prior to this, but this is the first comic book adaptation that ever happened. And we started off, this is a 12-part series, we watched part 1 of the adventures of Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I'm just doing some looking up of the stuff here.
You just on Wikipedia?
I am on Wikipedia.
Okay, good.
I know, it's just you just totally
Bogarted all of the Wikipedia facts.
pretty much. Nice job. That's a deep pull right there.
Bogart?
I've never heard it used in a sentence like that in a long time.
Like Q? You ever have a Netflix queue? Thought about that later on, baby.
Well, you were kind of late to the party with that clap back. You had a budget of $153,000.
Sure, I knew that when I read the Wikipedia.
Oh, okay. No, it was entertaining. I thought it was well done, and what we watched, the like you said, the print and the cleanup of it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, peek behind the curtain. We didn't buy this. We just looked it up on YouTube, where you can find a lot of serials, although you can buy them on DVD. But yeah, they cleaned up this print really well. It looked great. And overall, like, I've seen, I'm not going to say I'm an aficionado of old serials. I've seen maybe a dozen of them, but this was right up there in quality.
Yeah.
There are some issues, like Billy Batson, who traditionally in the books is like a young boy. In this version, he's 35. He meets the wizard Shazam to get the powers of Captain Marvel.
Would you say he wasn't 35 in this version?
Yeah.
He's like a teenager in this.
You have a bad assumption of what
or like an
teenagers
early
are.
20s guy.
Yeah, but he's not the young boy that Billy Batson typically is.
No.
And what we're gonna presumably see in the upcoming movie Shazam. Hey, so we're tying it back into multiple things.
Yes. By the way, I'm looking at the different chapters, the 12 parts. The first part was a double episode. It was 30 minutes. The rest of them were no longer than 17 minutes.
Oh.
So, I mean, maybe if you're ever bored, you could watch the whole thing.
I thought it was good.
I liked it.
I enjoyed it.
Here the rest of the 12 chapters. Curse of the Scorpion. So there's your villain. The Guillotine. Time Bomb. This one sounds exciting. Death Takes the Wheel.
Well, I thought with you watching it, there was some of the effects on the heroics.
Yeah.
You were audibly laughing at, but I don't think those were deserved, considering they were the first go-around, considering it was 1941.
Oh, yeah.
The effects that they were doing, I thought, were really working for me, especially, like, we haven't watched it yet. We will watch it if you compare it to the first two Batman serials, or even the Captain America one we watched, where it was just, like, somehow a fat guy in tights.
That was, yeah. This was more like there was a real suspension.
Plays as a hero. And,
yeah, it's a better suspension of disbelief.
And there were, I don't believe it was the the main actor Tom Tyler playing Shazam, but there were some action beats that I felt that were done by stunt guys that worked really well. Like we got him like doing a full flip and kicking two guys in the face.
That was good.
That was great. Or him flying doesn't look great. Like, I'll be the first to admit it, but
it's understandable given like the time and the ability to like
and the budget. But
yeah. Well, I mean, I wonder what $150,000 is in today's money, or is it 35? Sorry.
I don't know. I really dug it, and we did the Captain America one last year, and I enjoyed that one quite a bit. I think this one that we watched tonight is really superior to the Captain America one. The Captain America one was a little more
campy.
I was going to say action-based.
Yeah, but he still just didn't look...
It was just, a fat man punching people.
It didn't also feel like...
I mean,
it didn't feel
hate to body shame him, but...
It didn't feel true to, like, the comics either, you know what I mean?
Well, it was also, like, District Attorney, like, Dick Purcell or whatever. I don't remember what he was. He definitely wasn't named Dick Purcell. Is that someone's name? I don't even know.
I bet it was. I'll look it up right now.
That just made up.
If you got that right, I'll be surprised / dismayed.
I'm wrong.
I'm gonna look up Dick Purcell right now.
Okay, I'll wait for this. I'll edit it.
There was a man named Dick Purcell. That was the actor's name. Was Dick Purcell.
Did I get that?
The actor's name was Dick Purcell.
Holy shit.
Yeah, an American actor best known for playing Marvel Comics Captain America.
I can't believe I got that.
He was also in a movie called King of the Zombies.
That's amazing. I can't believe I pulled that out of nowhere.
Yep. District Attorney Grant Gardner.
There we go.
But wow, Dick Purcell. Bravo, sir.
I can't believe I got
Dick Purcell who died a man's death. Death by cigarettes, undercooked steak, and whiskey.
And milk on the golf course. But overall, I mean, I was impressed by the action, the stunts, just the general storytelling. We had some mild racism, but it's the 40s, so,
yeah.
you kind
of... It wasn't really mild. it's really kind of the advent of like a shift in how movies and pictures like that were made. It's also pre-World War II.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's very British Empire-y.
I don't know. I don't feel like you can give a modern eye on older things necessarily. I think that kind of...
No, not like that.
Yeah. But overall, I liked it. I really did. I thought it was really good, and I was kind of surprised. Like, because we're going into this, I had never seen this before. I was like, this is going to be the dumbest thing ever. It's not going to be any fun.
I thought we were going to be able to make fun of it the whole time. There was still, like, you can kind of vamp on it a little bit.
The flying effects are rough. Real rough.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's 1941. It's a movie serial. It's, like, meant to be played on Saturdays in the movie house before like the main event.
The thing, and we only watched the first one, so I can't necessarily like point to this as the rest of them. I think something that I always associate with movie serials is the hook at the end, like the never-ending cliffhanger.
Yeah,
which this one didn't really have.
The car driving off the bridge that was blowing up.
It just didn't hook me as much as another. Like, I need to know how this resolves.
Obviously,
I just didn't feel like that hook as much.
No, because the two of the characters in the car falling off the bridge are in the title credit sequence, so...
But, I mean, that's, a minor gripe, but I just didn't feel quite that hook that I get with most serials that I've watched.
You know what was cool in watching that, though, is you could pick out some things that you could find in the Indiana Jones movies, which are also 100%. Kind of based on the serials. When they align the lenses on the Scorpion. And what did I say when I did it? Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I thought you said he has 2 scorpions on his boobs.
No, that was what you said. That was you. I noticed the Raiders of the Lost Ark thing.
He just had it looked like he was wearing a bra made of scorpions.
But there was definitely, like, I also made a no camels joke, but that was totally different. Get the cars. You're like, those are horses. I said no camels. But you could see, like, the classic serial troops in this, or tropes. Tropes?
Yes, tropes.
Okay. But there were troops in this movie as well.
Troops, tropes, and all around topes.
There was one guy who had a mighty sweet goatee.
Topaz.
The kind of like, he's not really a villain so much as he's kind of like a lackey.
And there was the wizard Shazam that had just a big old fake beard.
Yeah, he looked like the aliens from Men in Black 2 that were in the locker.
Gotta tell you, I don't really remember Men in Black 2.
Oh, fair enough.
I remember Michael Jackson being in it. I remember getting Kay's memories back. And that about does it.
I thought Michael Jackson was in the first one.
I think it was the second one.
Could be.
I would put money down on it being the second one.
Oh, let's see.
I feel that confident.
Where is locker C18? I'd like to find a picture of the... I can't find the one of the guy I was looking for. Oh, well.
Yeah. So in general, I would say if you can find this on YouTube, look it up. I think it's entertaining and well worth it. It was really good. Surprisingly, especially like you would think, your first go around at superheroes would be dull, but damn, it was good. I liked it.
No, it was, I would probably watch the rest of it just to see how it ends.
And it's not that long, considering there's only 12 of these.
Yeah, 12 of them, and they're 15 minutes long, so that's what?
Look, we're not doing math here, but I'd say go to town on it.
That's what, 4 hours.
Okay, good. I'm glad you did the math on it. I'm not going to double check that.
Well, 15 minutes.
I don't care.
15 minutes times 4 is an hour. That's 3 hours. 3 hours.
Just
3.5.
Watch it and don't do math about it, I guess, is my review.
Yeah, I'd say watch it.
Especially
and I'm probably wrong on the
YouTube.
math. There you go.
Or, buy a DVD and support them.
But you would find out like that DVD of like 100 cartoons type.
I don't know. I think it's important to...
What did you think of the soundtrack?
Well, it was fine.
The music? Very
stock, but yeah. I don't know. I think it's important to support old things. Just, if you don't give the money to support the old stuff, then it's going to disappear. So I'm not against supporting it.
There you go.
That's what I have to say on Captain Marvel. Shazam, baby!
I was really confused because I didn't realize there were 2 Captain Marvels, even though we talked about it before.
Many times.
I'm like, okay, but I thought there was supposed to be like a Kree war, but now this guy's getting his powers from a cave and some dude named Shazam.
Moving on from there, just go watch it on YouTube or buy it.
There you go.
We're moving on to letters to the editors.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
This comes from Sound Guy himself.
He was just here last week. He had every opportunity to ask us a damn question.
He did. That was our... Oh, by the way.
Yeah?
Shoot, I should have brought this up at the front of the show. because the audio kind of kicked out on us at the end. I'm actually meant to plug in a different cable tonight, but I didn't.
Oh, good job.
We seem to be doing okay.
Okay.
Because I had to cut like 20 good minutes, which was really unfortunate.
Oh.
The audio kind of went on us. Yeah. But what was brought up towards the end of the show...
20 good minutes. We usually only promise 5.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know. If you want to be name dropped on the show, Sound Guy offered to do custom audio drops for anyone who wants to donate $5 or more on our Patreon.
Ooh, that's part of being Duke of the podcast.
You were there. I don't know why you acted surprised.
I forgot that it was a thing.
It was a week ago.
Well, it's been a long week. Actually, it was 8 days ago.
Yeah, so that was the thing that he offered up.
This is the longest stretch of time I had gone without seeing you in the last 2 weeks.
I know.
You grew a beard. It was...
I know. The longest I've gone without seeing my second wife in a while.
Oh, wow. It's true. I do provide for the family.
But yeah, that's the thing. If you want to donate $5 or more on the Patreon, you will get your own specialized audio drop.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Sorry that we had to cut so much of the podcast last week. It was unfortunate. We lost some good material, but oh well.
Did we have the whole Q discussion?
That was up front.
Yes!
So yes, that all made it. The Q stuff made it. From there, though, question from Sound Guy himself. Will Infinity War affect comics in either sales or in storylines?
Yes and no.
I'm going to say yes and yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely going to... Anytime there's something big like this, it creates interest. We've documented that and talked about it on the show many times. What do you mean it's not going to... How is it not going to affect the story? Or how is it going to affect the storyline?
Well, I mean, as far as sales, graphic novel sales are definitely going to be affected. Over the weekend, I sold every Infinity-related book I had. Good or bad, and believe me, I sold some bad ones.
Oh.
I also sold some good ones.
Were you upfront about, like, yeah, you can buy it. It's not the best, but go ahead.
I am upfront if people ask me about it.
Okay.
If you don't ask me about it, it's on you.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not going to just openly be like, hey, that one sucks. Leave it here.
Are you like those Jawas? What kind of junk you trying to push on us here?
Well, like that. What was that called? Like troopers or something?
No, the Jawas.
Oh, I was thinking
when they're like trying to sell Owen
yeah.
Owen Lars the R4 unit and it like blows up.
R5. I had that action figure.
Did it work?
Yes, it was fine as an action figure.
Did it blow up? Did it send sparks? Did it have a bad? Did it have a bad motivator?
It did. I mean, so do I.
That's fair enough.
I've sold out of all my Infinity-based stuff. Will it affect comic book storylines? There is an Infinity story currently happening, which I don't think is any mistake. I don't know if it's going to push new stuff outside of this kind of grab at it. Like, will it change Thanos? Will it change the Avengers? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think that the movie universe is totally different and separate from the print universe.
When the first Avengers happened, like...
Except for the time that they totally stole Samuel L. Jackson's likeness.
Yeah, but after the first Avengers movie, the Avengers lineup was those 6 characters. And you saw stuff like that, and believe me, having Black Widow talking about, like, there's red in her ledger is the worst thing that's ever happened to that character. Because every writer stole that for, like, the next 3 years. And it literally happened.
It was a great line in the movie.
Yeah, but it happened half a dozen times in the comics following that, and you just wanted to punch everyone in the throat. So hard. Collapse their trachea kind of punch to the throat. Like, this isn't your idea!
I'm glad that you didn't do it to me.
Yeah, well, you didn't think of it, so...
No, I didn't.
I was able to redirect my anger. But, I mean, there were definitely some negatives.
You're kind of gritting your teeth again yet over this. Are you going to bite that glass and chew on it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there were some negatives that came out of the first Avengers, and there's been negatives that have come out of the movies. Will this affect things? Maybe, probably not necessarily in a good way, based on what's happened before.
My feeling is probably not, because they don't want to inadvertently have any spoilers for the movie.
I mean, comics get planned out so far in advance, though. Like, you're talking at least, 3-4 months.
Yeah, but you got to go a whole other 12 months before the next movie comes out. So I'm going to say no. Not immediately. Maybe long term, but not immediately.
I think it'll boost sales.
Oh, it's definitely going to boost sales.
I don't know if it's going to boost monthly sales. I think what I've seen so far is it's definitely going to boost graphic novel sales.
It's going to be like a short-term bump. It's not going to be a long-term bump.
Oh, you know what's funny?
That joke I told earlier in the show?
No.
Yes, it was. You laughed, you son of a bitch.
Sound Guy gave me one of his Thanos graphic novels to read just because I hadn't done it yet.
Yeah.
And what we were talking about, like, in Infinity Gauntlet, like, Thanos got these Infinity Stones somehow. Turns out there was a whole story about that he let me read.
Yeah, Thanos Quest.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's how that happened.
Yeah, I know.
There they all are.
Yeah, I did some research.
Yeah, I never read it before. Now I have.
Was it good?
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh.
He cried a little bit too much, like a bitch.
You just called Thanos a bitch?
A little bit.
By the way, we didn't talk about this since the last show.
He cried a lot in the movie, like a bitch. So, consistent.
Did Thanos kill .me?
Oh, yeah, I'm alive.
I am too.
My wife's dead.
That sucks. Your other wife.
Yeah.
Not your show wife.
Yeah, there's a website, what was it? Like, did Thanos kill .me?
Did Thanos kill .me?
Yeah. And then you just...
Oh, no!
Are you dead now?
Oh, son of a bitch. You were slain by Thanos for the good of the universe.
I'm not going to mind the quiet.
Show's going to be a lot less exciting. What if I open up an incognito tab like I'm...
Oh, I'm sorry, like what? What would you do with an incognito tab?
I was spared!
Oh, good. So in your porn tab, you're spared.
Good. Porn me can live on.
Ew. So disappointed by that. Yeah. So I guess that's the answer to that question. From there, let's plug. There's a website where you can find stuff like my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm done singing.
That was terrible. You could do a better job of plugging.
You know what? Next episode, it's going to be the musical episode. I'm coming with a guitar.
You shut up, okay?
We have to improv everything.
Oh.
Musically.
I'm a pretty good improver.
No, you're not. Not musically.
No, I can come up with, raps. I can rap battle you.
I just had an aneurysm.
Excellent.
Oh my god, that hurt. No, you can't, and no, you don't.
You've never heard me rap battle. You've never
yeah,
heard me,
I have.
You've never heard me spit hot fire bars.
Okay. All right, we're moving on.
Well, Zach's over here with his brain exploding. I'll give you ways that we be exposing, the ways to help fund the show. It's called Patreon, you know?
I'm going to punch you in the throat so hard.
Then you'd have some red in your ledger. If you want to help support the show, go to...
God, put a bullet in my head.
Those are expensive. Do you have $50 laying around anymore? No, you don't. Anyway, if you want to help support the show, you can visit us at patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month will get you this show a whole day early. It gets you the Buffy back issue bin. The other show with Zach's real wife on it. That was a whole week early.
Yeah, that one's got an interview coming up. Another one.
It does. And...
You don't know. Don't act like you know.
Shut up. I know things, okay? Anyway, if you want to give $5 and become a Duke of the podcast, Sound Guy will record your name and we'll play it live on the show. And by live on the show, I mean...
Compared to what?
Will you shut your mouth while I'm plugging the show? If you want to visit the... Zach is holding his head.
Job.
I do. Yes. Anyway, if you want to visit if you want to visit the store in person, go to 210 Water Street in Hollowell. You may have to move around some construction equipment, but it's still there.
Yeah, tell them.
What are the odds that they accidentally swing a crane or a excavator through the front window of your store?
I gotta tell you, pretty high. I'm a little worried about it. I watch it.
Is the store insured?
Yes.
Mostly.
I was I had to watch. I didn't say I had to watch. I watched the Cobra Kai series this week. One of the
and by this week you mean today?
Yeah, but they had part of it is Johnny going through business licensing. I'm feel you. I feel you getting insurance and going through all the loopholes you need to go through.
They're not loopholes. They're rings that you jump through.
But then he has
the hoops you jump through.
But then he also goes for months without getting any income. I'm that's not how businesses work.
That's exactly how your business has been working.
Oh, look, I mean, you just, you see things through your own prism. And in this case, I was looking at it from a business
Did you say prison or prism?
Both. Business is a prison.
You just kind of locked in to where you are.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. You're on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter at Junior Rich. If you want me to write you a hot rap, I'm not going to do it this week. I'm kind of busy.
Don't ask that. Or do, actually. You know what? Call him out. Make him write you a rap.
Sitting in the basement.
Especially if he doesn't know who you are. Let's just see him try and make one up with no context.
Me and Zach sit in the basement podcasting. We had no idea this is how long it'd be lasting.
I'm getting wasted.
He's drinking his whiskey. Can't you see that he's going to go wee wee?
Literally haven't had a sip all night until you just started
And you
rapping.
didn't sip it. You just drank the whole glass.
Yeah,
you just took 4 fingers of whiskey and chugged it.
That was a straight chug.
There's nothing left. You drank it all.
We'll be back next week for a thing we should probably buy tickets for.
Oh, is it Han Solo?
Or Deadpool, one of those two. I don't even remember. I think it's Deadpool
It's
first.
Deadpool first.
Yeah, I guess we have to buy Deadpool tickets. We'll be back.
Is that this coming weekend? Mother's Day weekend?
I don't remember.
Mothers. Be good to your mothers.
Look up that Mr. T song. Look up Mr. T singing about mothers.
I can rap better than Mr. T.
No, you can't.
Come on, man.
We'll be back. Everyone, let's try and come up with catchphrases in 3, 2, 1. Slap your throats.
What is it? Go have your aneurysm.
I couldn't come up with one. I tried.
You are terrible.
We've been doing this for over 100 episodes and I don't have one yet.
Like a sign
I came
off?
up with slap your throats.
Slap your throats. That's the best. In over 100 episodes, slap your throats is the best you could come up with. We'll see you on the back pages.
No, Backpage was shut down by the government.
Oh, wasn't that where the letters to the editor were? The editor's notes?
I mean, I guess. I was talking about Backpage.com, that thing that was shut down for, like, prostitution.
No, I'm talking about like the back page where they would...
Oh, no, I think you're an active recipient previously of Backpage and you just miss it. Find Jared on the back pages.
That's not... No, that's
Find
not
him
how...
on the back
You shut
pages.
your dirty mouth, you son of a bitch.